Hello, Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to Chit Chat with Shehla. We have a guest today to which I dedicate a quote. It's not my quote, but it suits her. To be soft is to be powerful. And that's what I feel for her. I will tell you shortly how we met. And let me first tell you the guest we have. I've been saying it, but she is an extremely competent doctor, a great mother and daughter, an amazing wife, and a marvelous friend. I remember this is years and years ago, at least I think 13, maybe 12 years ago. I was at a friend's house and we were expecting someone to come, another family friend, whom I'd never met. So I was waiting, and then two lovely kids came in, and then I heard this soft voice, like a really soft, gentle, beautiful voice. And I was like, who's this? I turned around and it was this beautiful lady who's going to come on our show. I'm very conscious about my voice anyways, but today in particular, I know I have such a loud voice and she is so soft, so gentle. I'm sure you'll love her. She has been working as a community psychiatrist and specializes in mental health disorders in child and adolescent mental health services. She's here to discuss the challenges that the young kids and teenagers have been facing, particularly in the pandemic, and what should be done about it. So let's waste no time and call on Sadia Farhan Khan. Hello, Sadia.
Hello, Shala. Assalamu alaikum. It's really lovely being part of your show. Thank you very much for inviting me, and I'll try my best to be as soft as possible, whilst you have mentioned a lot about my softness.
Well, that's your feature. You can't take it away, and I can't take my voice away. Glad to have you on the show. Tell us a bit about yourself, Sadia, in particular, your medical journey. How did you get into it?
Right. Okay. So my journey, long journey it's been. And originally I'm from Pakistan. So I graduated as a medical doctor from Pakistan a long time ago, I guess now, from Karachi. And then in 2004, I moved to England after, passing all my exams, my licensing exams, to work in UK. I started my working career in UK, I think it was 2007, 2008 time. And since then, I've been working and working, no full stop yet. So far, it's been okay. I do have some overwhelming experiences at times when I had to maintain that right balance in my life. But so far, it's been okay.
Would you say just as a doctor or balancing a family life and
family life, work life, being a wife, being a mother, and then a working doctor as well. In terms of my expertise, just to let you know, before I became a psychiatrist, I've got huge experience working as a medical doctor. So, which is actually a plus point to a psychiatrist, because usually psychiatrists are known not to have good medical knowledge, as their specialty is more towards mental health. So
why is that?
I don't know, because it's more around that they specialize in mental health and they don't have much knowledge about the physical health side. However, I disagree with it completely, because the amount of work we do, being a psychiatrist, the amount of work and the amount of knowledge we should have in the physical health area, because when we medicate people or when we treat people, we have to make sure that we are very much aware of their mental health problems as well. Without knowing, the physical health side as well. So without knowing their physical health, we cannot make sure that we'll be, going to have successful results when we treat their mental health. It's very closely related, Shella. It's mental health. If you're happy in your mind, you'll have good control on your physical health conditions as well. This is what I believe myself.
Absolutely. So, sorry, you wanted to say something?
Going back to my medical experience, I have worked as an inpatient doctor in I believe almost all the Northwest London hospitals, as a medical doctor in emergency medicine, in geriatrics, and general adult medicine side for roughly around 10 years in this country.
Wow, wonderful. That's a lot of experience. Why did you choose psychiatry?
A good question. I chose psychiatry, Shella, because it's the emergency medicine. When I was working as a senior registrar in the emergency medicine, I actually came across a lot of psychiatric acute presentations. And that was the time when I started developing this special interest towards mental health patients. And I found it really interesting. So it was around 2012, 2013 time when I actually started thinking about it. And I applied for psychiatry training. One of my friends, she was already in psychiatry training, and she also tried to convince me that, yes, it's really good. It would be a really positive decision if you go for it. So yeah, then I applied for it and I got accepted, started my training in psychiatry.
Was it easy to get in, or is it quite hard to get those roles?
Like all the other specialities, like even you apply for a GP trainee, or you apply for surgical trainee or gynae and ops trainee. So it has the same recruitment procedure, and interviewing, lots of theory tests, and I had to prepare for all that.
Okay. So when you started, it was Northwest London, right? You started your psychiatry there, training here.
Yes, it was.
And then you moved away from us. I had to throw it in.
Well, I'm always there with you. If you can feel me, I'm just around you.
Thank you. Thank you. So tell us about the children and adolescent mental health, and why that area in particular. Why did you choose that?
To understand, okay, let me put it this way. Seeing young people starting their journey in their lives, so supporting them around that time, and to understand their psychological needs, to help them with their emotional difficulties. I found it really interesting, that because that is the time where they actually start their lives. So I found it really interesting that you are working alongside, trying to strengthen their abilities, and from there they start a new life. So which probably help them for the rest of their lives. So this is something which actually took me to children and adolescent psychiatry.
Okay. I must tell you, Sadia, Yasmin Khan is here. She's watching. Amara Sohail was here, or is here. Aisha Hussain is here. There's
Hello.
5 people. If you want to write any comments, if you want to ask any questions, please do so. And I believe Nadia was waiting anxiously since yesterday to come on. I don't know, Nadia, if you're here. If you are, just drop a comment so Sadia knows you're watching. Okay, so going to the last year, how difficult it has been, and the pandemic in particular will concentrate on it affecting children, teenagers, adolescents. What would you say about that?
Shala, it's been a difficult year, and we are still, unfortunately, we are not out of it yet. So the difficulties majorly what we have been reported about in the young people is mainly social anxiety. So I'm going to talk a bit more about it. Um, so every day we are hearing this term social distancing, and no one has wondered how much of social anxiety this social distancing has actually created or generated. So there are high levels of social anxiety at the moment, and it's free floating in the community amongst all the young people. So it's really difficult. So they've been in and out of their educational institutes, just from their schools, from their colleges. A lot of discontinuity and break in their routines, in their normal, usual daily life. So which has actually caused a lot of disruption in their lives. There's no doubt. They have completely out of their routines. And this has affected them psychologically immensely, immensely. So at the moment, let me just share the actual statistics of England. This is only about England. So I'm very much aware that you do have some viewers joining from Australia and from Pakistan. So unfortunately, I haven't got the statistical figures from other countries because I live in England. So I'm aware of only the figures over here in England. So at the moment, every one young person in 4 people is struggling with anxiety and depression. That's quite a lot. That's quite a lot. And this was a survey done last year in summertime. So I'm not sure this year if it has already, this figure is already changed or it's still the same. But this is what the figure which we got last year. And this is very unfortunate because it is quite a lot. It is quite a lot.
Sorry, Sadia, before you continue, I'd ask, is that a significant increase from pre-pandemic time, the 1 in 4?
Absolutely, Shaila, yes, it is. And mental health services for young people, they've been under great pressures all across the country. So it is, we are dealing with huge pressures, huge number of referrals. However, there are some services, pre-secondary services, so we normally call them as filter services. So they actually filter and they send only the genuine cases across to the mental health services. The rest of them are treated at primary level, to the GP services and the PCLW services, they normally treat them. But very special and high level cases, they actually come across to the mental health services. So this is how it works. And at the moment, anxiety, depression, being at home, being isolated from communities, from their schools, it's actually putting them at high risk of a lot of other risky things, domestic violence, emotional abuse, being at home, being underfed by under-thriving families. So a lot of challenges we've been hearing, and it's been reported to the social services, to police, and there is a huge increase and rise in the number of domestic violence towards children and young people as well.
Wow, that's the underfed part has just stuck with me because we wouldn't think of that, would we? I'll just go through comments. Aisha Hussain said hello. Sahar said hello, my beautiful friends. Hi, Sahar. And Sobia has said, Sobia is a GP in Australia, that the lockdowns have impacted mental health adversely all over the world. Yes, I'm sure the statistics can't be too different in other parts of the world as well. Sadia, tell us about the filter service, because so the GPs are the first point of contact for...
Yes, that's the first point of contact. And from there, they are actually diverted to different community filters, depending on the severity of the case. If the case is extremely highly severe, because there's a certain criteria to rate the severity of the case, they have to go through. And if they feel that this is absolutely the right criteria for the mental health services, then those kind of cases come to us. But if there are mild symptoms and they are not hitting the criteria for referral, process, then they normally go to the community charity organizations or the community psychological needs services. And in Northampton, because I live in Northamptonshire, so we have a service called PCLW. These are liaison services which actually work very closely with the GP services, with the GP surgeries. And low-level mental health issues, they are normally diverted to the PCLW. I'm not sure what's the term for the London surgeries. They probably have some mental health services working alongside in the community as well. So here in Northamptonshire, we normally call it as PCLW services.
Okay.
So this is, but the first thing what you need to do if your child is struggling with their mental health, it's very important that you go and discuss it with your GP, and then from there you will be diverted into the right direction.
Okay, great. I just would say on the live show, we have 2 GPs watching, and one of them, I'll bring them on at some point because they can then impart on the GP, the primary care side of things. So the cases that come through to you are the severe, more affected ones. Tell us a bit about that. What do you get? What kind of cases are you seeing?
Shala, at the moment, I'm dealing with, I've already mentioned to you that with high level of social anxiety, which again, I'm telling you in the light of pandemic. So prior to pandemic, the nature of the referrals was definitely a different kind of the situation. At the moment, what I am dealing with is the pandemic related mental health problems. So high level of social anxiety, which was obviously, we know that it was generated as a result of social distancing. And exacerbation of OCD behaviors, so obsessive compulsive related, so fears around getting contaminated, fears around catching germs, and as a result of that, they tend to wash hands, they tend to do lots of cleaning, they follow lots of cleaning rituals. So these kind of things have exacerbated. So you get to hear a young person coming to see you with a problem like 60 to 70 times hand washing in one day. And it's something which they cannot resist. It's something which is beyond their control. They have no control on it, and which makes them really exhausted and tired at times. So this level of severity, which we normally get in the secondary services, to the extent they tend to do follow these rituals to the extent, if it's to do with washing hands, they sometimes get their skin damaged and end up using steroids and different sort of ointments offered by or creams offered by the GPs. So this is I'm just sharing some of my experience I normally see day in, day out. The other depression, yes, the other one is major depression majorly. So under thriving families where there's not enough food, not enough daily living essentials available, these children are struggling with their mental health in terms of developing depression. So so depression, again, it is characterized by low mood, low self-esteem, losing interest in life, losing interest in socializing, losing interest in eating, losing interest in all their activities which they used to enjoy in the past. So this is the situation at the moment. A high number of anxiety, social anxiety, OCD-related presentations, and depression. This is what we are dealing at the moment with. And in the pandemic, this is what we are dealing with at the moment, mainly in the light of pandemic. I was telling you about the challenges which we have recently seen. There was one more thing I would like to add. It's about the mass COVID testing programs within I think it's happening all across UK now. I'm not sure about outside UK, but the mass COVID testing programs, which is run by, I think, each and every school in UK at the moment. That has created a huge anxiety amongst all the young people. Most of them actually going through lots of anxiety because of that, because they are fears around what if they come positive, or so this is going to just disrupt their cycle of routine again. They are going to be homebound again. They are going to be isolated. They will be asked to self isolate again. So these sort of fears are actually circulating in the community, and this is how young people are getting more and more affected.
That's really concerning. I just want to read out the comments. Aisha Hussain, who's a GP, is saying lots of new cases during the pandemic, but pre-existing cases, majority of cases have been stable. And she's saying as a GP, and 70 to 80% of our day-to-day surgeries, she was saying, is these kind of cases. And then Sobia again, who's a GP in Australia, is saying, have seen kids as young as 7 years old with anxiety during lockdown. I mean, yes, Sobia, mass testing in schools, they are having lateral flow tests. They've been given kits to bring home, and they have to test at least once or sometimes twice a week and report it. That is what Sadia was referring to. And yes, I've seen it personally with my own daughter. She was, when she started school a few weeks ago, she was a bit anxious about it, starting school and the tests as well. So what would you say, Sadia, in a nutshell? I know we can go on and on about this, and I'd love to hear this, and I'm sure the viewers would as well. In a nutshell, what would you say as parents and as mothers here who are watching, what should they be doing?
It's a difficult situation, Shaila. The thing is that parents themselves are struggling. Okay, so all we can do is we can continue to offer reassurances to our children as much as possible. So please try to share facts with children. Do not hide the reality from them. I'm talking about young children at the moment. Obviously, with the adolescent and teenage years, they are very much aware themselves. But children under 12 years of age, I'm talking about them. Please try to share facts with them. But at the same time, try and offer them some reassurance as well that this is going to be okay in near future, because we are following the right guidelines offered by the government. So things are going to be fine. We are going to get vaccines. So just try to tell them and share more positive things as well whilst you're sharing the facts with them. Do not give them any false hopes. Try to be as realistic and as honest with them as possible. So this is what first thing what I would like to say. And the second thing is, please do not let your child suffer. If you feel that your child is struggling and he or she needs help, please take your child to the doctor as soon as possible. This is important. Because Shala, unfortunately, this is the very unfortunate part of our culture, the Asian culture I'm talking about, that there is a huge stigma around mental health illnesses, and people tend to hide their own and their children's mental health problems, and they just keep on saying, oh, nothing is wrong with the child. He or she is going to be all right in a few days. Oh, once the pandemic is gone, it's going to be all right. But they are actually ignoring something which could actually get bigger and bigger in future. Okay? That anxiety might settle in a few days, but there is a high risk that the same level of anxiety might come back again when the child will be sitting in some exam, or will be facing some other challenging situation. So it's better to treat now and to address the acute issues at the moment, rather than leaving it for other time.
Okay, Sadia, why don't you throw some light on the symptoms of anxiety and depression that would show in a child or a teenager? Just so some moms, I'm sure, would know the word anxiety, but they may not actually know what the child is going through could be categorized as one or the other.
Shala, the easiest way to explain the symptoms of anxiety is, um, or to pick up symptoms of anxiety in your child is, obviously he becomes out of their he goes there, he or she would appear out of their character. You might not see the usual character of your child. You will notice, so you would notice some kind of restlessness in their behavior, disturbance in their eating habits, some disturbance in sleep. They might start complaining you that mom, I can't sleep. So these are the things you need to look at, uh, and other things are restlessness, irritability, change in personality, unable to focus, um, difficulty in concentrating in their lessons. So out of the blue, having like this tearful sort of tearful, becoming tearful and crying. So these are the symptoms you need to monitor your child for. And if you feel that this is something unusual for a happy child, who's known to be a happy child, so then you need to do something about it.
Yeah. So basically, any change.
For depression, I think in your program today I have already mentioned earlier on that we need to look for mood changes, mainly behavior changes, some agitation, irritability, again difficulties in sleep, change in the appetite, drop in appetite, weight loss with no significant medical reasons, or yeah, so these are the things we need to look for if your child is depressed. And again, they would struggle to function normally. That's another thing. If there is a drop in their function as well, so that's something you need to be careful about. And also, um, if you have some concerns about your child, make sure you discuss it with the school. If the teachers have already noticed something, they will definitely share with you. So that's another, yeah. So if there is some drop or decline in the level of their function, you will be getting some information. You'll be able to get some information from the school as well.
That's great. Thank you for all, Sadia, for sharing all of that. We're coming towards the end of our program. Thank you everyone who was watching and commenting. I did see Farhan's name pop up. So hello, Farhan. I don't know how you've made your way into the group, but hi. Farhan is Sadia's husband. Lovely friend, him as well. Okay, before we go to the last section, okay, why don't you tell us a quote? Because I asked Sadia earlier for a few things and she said she will read out a quote, and then we go towards our giveaway part of the show.
Okay, Shala, my message would be, it's a strong message. It's a quote as well. So mental illness is nothing to be ashamed of, but stigma and bias shame us all. So please, please do not suffer in silence, and because you don't have to struggle in silence. Okay?
That's so important. That's so good. Thank you, Sadia, for sharing. Now, it will be a surprise for Sadia as well, because I've just last minute changed the giveaway. We discussed a few things. I think based on how I've seen who's been on live, and let's leave it to what you suggested. Sadia kindly offered a session for somebody who is suffering. So we won't do the giveaway right now. For anyone who knows of, Sadia, would you say an age group where someone, and what kind of session you'd like to offer, and then I'll announce how we give that giveaway.
Okay. So any child from the age of 8 till 18 years of, yeah. So I'm happy to offer consultation free of cost obviously, because it's a giveaway gift. If you have any concerns regarding this child, you can share it here with Shaila, and Shaila can actually share my contact details. So I'm happy to offer a free session of assessment.
Thank you so much for that. So for viewers who are watching now and who will watch later, if you know of a child, whether it's your own or of someone else's, you know, who is from the age of 8 to 18, and it's not UK bound, it could be anywhere in any part of the world, who really is struggling. Maybe you don't want to go to your doctor, or maybe you've been and you've not got much joy. Either ways, drop me a text, send me a message on Messenger, and the first message I will receive, I shall pass the details between Sadia and yourself, and Sadia has kindly offered, generously offered, that she would help. Thank you so much, Sadia. It was a pleasure, and I can see a lot of comments coming in that it was really helpful and useful. And Nadia is here. Thanks a million. Very informative and very helpful. Thank you, and God bless you.
Thank you very much for inviting me, Shaila. It's been a pleasure to be part of your show. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye.